Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Jeremy's Got Fitness Podcast Radio Show, coming to you on this Sunday, December the 29th, 2024. Hopefully it finds you staying safe and staying sweaty. On today's episode, we are doing a little recap, saying goodbye to 2024, hello to 2025. This will be the last episode of the year here. Been busy, a lot of stuff going on. It's probably the biggest gap I've had in between episodes in 7 years, so I apologize for that, you guys, but sometimes I have real, quote unquote, real work I have to do, and that is where I have been hustling. But today we'll give you a little recap, some stuff to take with you, put in your back pocket into 2025, and that is how we're going to roll. Before I do that, quick housekeeping things. Almost a new year here. Like we do every year in Jeremy's Got Fitness app, we have the 47-day transformation. The link will be in the show notes, but it's 47daytransformation.com. It'll redirect you guys. We're running it as a challenge to start the year. If you guys have bought this before on the app, you still have access to it. We'll do all the live updates so you guys can do that. If you want to be entered for the grand prize, which I believe we're going to fly you guys out here to sunny Scottsdale, Arizona, a couple of nights stay at one of the hotels close by, huge prize package from all of our sponsors, and then come here up to the gym, hang out with me, Heather, meet the rest of our savages, get a couple workouts in. We'll tell you the best places to eat and kind of stop by and enjoy your time here. That is the grand prize. We'll do weekly prizes throughout. Again, the 47-day transformation is so much more than that. It's like a total physical, mental, spiritual, emotional transformation program. It's much more than just exercise and nutrition. We work on a ton of behavior modification, a lot of the personal development stuff. It's the thing digitally I'm the most proud of that we have created because it makes real, like, long-lasting change in people. A lot of people do it multiple years in a row. And again, I do like to give away free shit to you guys. And it's a huge community, I guess, participation event. So if you guys are looking for something to do in 2025, maybe you've been kind of eating like a trash can the end of the year here, this is going to be something that throws you right into the fire, but anybody can do it at any level. We program it out that way. So even if you're fit, you can take it to, this kind of beast mode level. And if you're somebody who is entry level, you'll be just fine as well. We coach you every step of the way. We answer every question inside. So if you're interested, 47daytransformation.com. Otherwise, check out the Jeremy Scott Fitness app. It'll be in the premium section. You guys can pick it up. Enter, send us your before picture, after picture, testimonial, all that fun stuff. And we'll feature you, obviously, on our social stuff, but I'd like to fly you guys out here and get you in our facility. So check it out. And if you got a question, just ask. And then real quick off the top, before I forget, shout out to my friends at AG1. You guys already know. The one thing I take every single day and I never miss. We have probably, 100 to 200 sample packs here just waiting to be sent out. So if you guys want to check out AG1, you've never tried it before, hit me up. We'll send some right to your front door. You can try it. If you like it, we'll hook you up with a year's supply of free vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with order one. Really, I've been taking this probably every day for, I want to say, almost 7 years at this point. And a couple of reasons. One, I don't have to take, 14 different pills every single day, especially when I travel and I'm busy. It's the best tasting, in my opinion, in terms of the nutritional drinks. A lot of them taste, honestly, like hot garbage. This one does not. I don't make an excuse not to take it, so I'll never talk myself out of it. And really, in one little pack for me, it's like my multivitamin, it's my vitamin C, it's my super greens, it's my probiotics, it's my vitamin B complex. The digestive enzymes, again, if you have issues going to the bathroom, you want to make things run smoother, this is what I do. And it's the easiest health hack I honestly throw into my life. So if you're interested, check out the link, drinkag1.com/Jeremy Scott for all the free stuff. But if you want a free sample on me, reach out, we'll ship it to you. You can try it. And if you like it, get hooked up from there. And again, don't feel weird. I mentioned this a lot on here. Maybe this is the first episode you listen to, or maybe this is episode 620, whatever we're on. And you've been kind of like, well, I've been thinking about it, but just ask. That's why we offer. We are happy to do it. No questions asked. And then from there, ask away. Other than that, all the other sponsors I'm going to put in the show notes. Our friends at JLab Pro. We get a protein, turmeric, collagen, and krill oil. I mean, Heather's pregnant, so I don't know if I should be pumping Dry Farms wine, but that's the wine she likes, but she hasn't drank in forever. And everything else below. So yeah, that's it. Heather's here. Welcome, Heather.
Thank you. Merry Christmas and happy holidays, everybody. We hope you're enjoying your time with family and friends this season.
maybe getting work done, maybe taking it easy, whatever season of life you're in.
Yeah, we stayed in Arizona again this year, and so it's been pretty relaxing. And we just had a small family get together and some friends over on Christmas Eve. If we're here, we usually just like host Christmas Eve at our house and just do some drinks and appetizers, and then we'll go out to a nice dinner. So we did that and went to the Henry, which we hadn't been to in, I feel like, a really long time, which was so
Years.
nice because it's so close to our house. And then what else? We, after that, just went and looked at Christmas lights through Arcadia, which has like the most beautiful homes all lit up. And then with your mom and stepdad. And then we came back and they had gifts for the dogs to open,
Always.
which is always super sweet. And in our neighborhood does the luminary tradition. So it's typically, I feel like luminaries are popular in like the Southwest, like California, New Mexico, Arizona.
I never heard of them. Yeah. Till I came
Yeah,
here.
so we always set those up too on Christmas Eve, and it's been a tradition in our neighborhood for like 40 years, which is pretty crazy that they've kept it going for that long. And majority of our neighbors do participate, which is always cool. And so we set those up, and you can like walk around, obviously, and they're all glowing and lit up, the candles throughout the neighborhood on Christmas Eve. And it was so cute. Like I looked over before we had left for dinner, and our 99-year-old neighbor, Russ, who has lived there because the homes were built in the 50s. He's lived there since the neighborhood was created.
Yeah, like he's buying.
He's like the OG.
Like a new build.
Yeah.
Is when he's moving in, which is crazy.
And he was out there with his walker setting up his luminaries, which I thought was so impressive. He's about to turn 100 next month, and I just am like fascinated by him. And he was having some trouble, and our neighbors across the street, I saw their son come over and help him, which was sweet. But
No, he's the goal you strive to be. The dude is 100 years old.
Like epitome of health.
He drives his own car, and we don't live in Mayberry. We live in like downtown Scottsdale.
Yeah.
This guy's driving around where everybody is.
That's
walking,
crazy.
driving, and
He still goes dancing at the Elks Lodge every Wednesday night. So he's just really impressive.
To live on your own at 100?
Yeah.
That's a savage, dude. Yeah.
So yeah, that was our Christmas Eve. And then Christmas morning, it was you and I woke up, and
Watching Die Hard.
he has to watch Die Hard, which I am like not a fan of. And then it's not like a Christmas movie to me, but he hates when I say that.
This is embarrassing. This is embarrassing.
So we had that on and just built a fire because it was actually kind of chilly in the morning. It's been like super warm here for the holidays. And anyway, what do we do? Stocking stuffers. We always do that for each other. We're not big into like getting gifts for each other.
No, ours is the adoptive family that we do. Like that to me, and we can talk about that too. But like I would rather do that with you, or the experiences that we share and like do together. But versus like, hey, buy me some.
Yeah.
Like if you help me socks or something, like I would use those. But
Yeah.
I don't need more T-shirts or trinkets.
We'll
and
do
shit.
like gift cards sometimes, but we just did the stocking stuffers, and then we opened some gifts from like some family and clients, and then
Which is super nice. Thank you, everybody who buys us
thank you
gifts.
so much.
You don't
It's
have
so thoughtful.
to, but we appreciate it.
Yes, exactly. And then we just went over to your mom's house later in the afternoon, and she had like her and Dave had this amazing brunch for us, and we just relaxed there and opened more gifts, and it was a really quiet, small, nice Christmas. I feel like that's pretty much what we did.
It's pretty chill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, but yeah, going back to one of our traditions that we've done for 15 years, I'm sure you've heard us talk about it or seen us post about it. We do the Adopt a Family program through St. Vincent de Paul and the Phoenix organization. So we've been doing that, I think, for 15 years. And this year we sponsored a family of 7, 5 kids. So we always go shopping for them, which is fun. Jeremy and I will typically go to like Target. And then We wrap all the gifts, which can take a really long time because we're not the best at wrapping. And
And when you have a puppy and this
oh my
old
gosh,
ass dog,
they were
that,
like in our way, like stepping on all the gifts and ripping up the paper, but we got it done just in the nick of time, and we were able to deliver the Friday before Christmas, the weekend before Christmas, to the family. And it was another special year where the mom was really grateful. She was there. The husband was working, but all the kids were there except the oldest. And they helped us like bring in the gifts from the car and put them under the tree because they had I don't think they had any gifts under their tree.
I didn't see any
Yeah.
at all. And we went, I mean, this is the most, and thank you
This
to
was
all
like
of our members and the people who listen to this who donated money too. So we spent like thousands of dollars. On
Yeah,
this
we were
family.
able to give them such a nice Christmas and provide them with the Christmas dinner gift card and some other extras.
I put cash in there too, just because I'm like, their story, I mean, we can share as much or as little, but I'm like, this is obviously the mom and a dad. They have 5 kids, but the mom died earlier this year.
Yeah.
And then, so the mom dies in a car accident earlier this year. Then the mom's brother, so the uncle.
So the grandma to the kids died. Yeah.
So, and then her brother, the uncle, has a drug overdose like the next day or like the week after. And this is the daughter, so the mom of the kids that we're sponsoring, has to cover all the bills. And this family doesn't have money.
The funeral costs and
Of both of them.
yeah, and it really put them in a tough spot financially and into some debt. So then they were having issues paying their own like utility bills, and she was talking to us about how their electricity almost got shut off. And so it was just really nice to be able to help them out and meet them, and the kids were super cute and grateful. One of them was like talking our ear off,
Oh, yeah. The dude was like
Yeah.
karate kicking me and shit.
showing off.
He's got it. How old is he? 5, maybe? 4?
Yeah, I think so.
Like a young kid, like just full energy. They're very nice. But again, they're super jacked. You know, it's like, I say that why we don't buy each other stuff, because I don't get much joy from it. Like you buy me something, I'm thankful that you bought it for me.
Like
but
our love language, both of us, is not give gifts. Like it's just not.
It might be like, hey, Jeremy, I took your truck in to
Acts
get
of
an oil change. I'm
service.
like, thank you.
And
Like,
mine's like words of affirmation. So
yeah, and not like just gifts. Where these kids, my truck was full. Like literally,
Yeah.
my truck was packed full of gifts. And they can read, so they know their names are on there. And then they're shaking them, they're looking at them, they really want to rip them open like that instant. Like we don't get that from each other,
Right.
But to watch them, I'm like, okay, they're gonna have an awesome Christmas now when they had nothing under the tree. And you know what that's like, even for us. Like when I was 7, 8, 9, like Christmas was the shit.
Oh, yeah.
It was everything.
Oh, I was obsessed with growing up, I was obsessed with gifts and presents. So I guess it changed, but yeah, when you believe in Santa, and some of her kids still believed in Santa, so it was super cute to hear them get excited. They're like 5 more days till Santa comes, and yeah, so that was like kind of the kickoff to the holidays that we did, and that was just before my parents had come out to visit in the middle of December, which was super nice to have them here before the holidays and show them how Scottsdale does the holidays, which is so fancy.
It is very fancy here.
It's over the top, and I love it though. And so we did several Christmas activities with my parents and your parents. We did like Scottsdazzle, which is like the city of Scottsdale downtown on the canal waterfront area. They have it all decorated and lit up, and you can do like the Scottsdale stroll. So we took them around there to walk around, and there's like live entertainment and music performances, and we went to a nice dinner at one of our favorite Italian spots, Pizza Virtue on Main Street. Give them a shout out. And
yeah, they're paying us no money to say this, but
I feel like we've gone there multiple times lately.
Yeah, well, so D-Lo, who you guys know, who's been on the podcast a million times, like he does the insurance for Pizza Virtue. So like he knows Chef Gio and the owner. It's authentic Italian.
Yeah.
And so if you like real like pizza, like that is Italian based, the pasta, They serve Peroni there, the wines, everything. And it's a small, like, chill place. Like, you would probably never notice it if you came here on vacation. So I highly recommend it. If you like pizza, which, unless you're like a terrorist, who doesn't? You know?
Yeah, it's like wood-fired pizza, which I love. And so we did that with them and like walked all around downtown Scottsdale. And then we did Christmas at the Princess at the Fairmont Resort, which is always just amazing. Like it's,
as the kids
they
would
go
say,
above and beyond.
It's extra.
It's extra, and every year they add more to it. It's like ice skating rinks, and
It's expensive though, isn't it? I don't know what you paid.
They have like snow tubing, and they have light shows everywhere, and
Giant Ferris wheel,
giant Christmas trees everywhere. Like
ice skating.
It's really impressive. So we took them there, and they were just like in awe of that. And what else we do? I went shopping with them at like the Scottsdale Quarter, and that's all lit up. And
it's like a Hallmark movie here on steroids. It really is.
Yeah,
like,
except that it's just like warmer. It's like there's no snow.
But in terms of like how, like when you go a normal place, like it's so fancy here.
It's like every section of Scottsdale, I feel like it's activated and they have something going on for the holidays, which is cool. So that was really nice to spend some time just with my parents. And then after, I just had a couple work trips. I went to Orange County to visit clients, and then I did LA for like our end of the year work team get together, which was nice, and did that in Hollywood. And that was kind of like the end of my, I didn't really take vacation days, so I've been working here and there.
But corporate America gets real slow.
Next year, if we were going somewhere, then I'll take a lot of PTO, obviously. But since I'm sticking around, I'm like, I'll get some year-end tasks done. And then really we just kind of did like an early New Year's celebration last night with friends, because we're like, don't really want to do anything during the weekdays next week.
No, and New Year's here is a scene. Like if you go out, it's
yeah. And I can only last so long these days right now.
Well, we're out last night.
And Jeremy's such a big partier that it's like, I can't go to a club and he'll be there all night.
First of all, we are old. In that world, we are old as hell. So now I'm like the guys checking IDs last night. I'm like, I could be this person's dad. Like that's
you were so. I was like, he's gonna turn around, because like all of a sudden the line was forming and they're checking IDs to get into the Global Ambassador Hotel.
It's so cringy.
It was so weird because it was like to get into like the main lobby area. Though.
Can I
like
say
the
this?
Side of the lobby?
Was there a need for a line at all? Was there really a need at all?
I don't know.
You're just walking into a hotel lobby. What are we doing?
They're just trying to make it look very VIP.
There's a velvet rope on this side. Oh no, you guys aren't here for dinner. You go to the velvet rope on this side, and I just want to. Oh, it's so.
Jeremy hates that stuff.
It's so gross, dude.
But I'm glad we went. We went to like with our friends to Pyro, which was really good. I've been wanting to go to that restaurant, and then voice. I'm like losing my voice.
She had a couple of cigarettes on the way here, guys. Don't worry. No. The restaurant is the restaurant's not. It's fancy. You can eat expensive. You can eat cheaper. It's a very nice.
It's
inside.
like Japanese and American.
It's
modern American. Yeah,
it's a strange mix.
It's a really cool though combination.
But I mean, I had sushi too there, which again,
it's like you can get a burger and then you can get like sushi grade, like really good high end sushi there.
Yeah, it's not cheap, but it's not the most expensive place either. And you can wear normal clothes. Like it's a good place
comfortable
to go. But even like the Global Ambassador, like you go over there, and we're sitting there and like we're joking. I'm like, you and Emily are just like two old moms, hanging out watching, because the kids are so much younger that go in there, and I don't know if that's
yeah, they were like looking really young. Walking in there.
I don't know if that's a new thing, and I told this to Meredith, who one of our coaches who works here, and she'll go to some of the places. They'll ask for recommendations, and it's like, I don't know what I'm supposed to recommend to you, like the places that I go now in my 40s, because when Heather and I met, we aren't going to these places.
No.
Heather and I's top places when we would meet. Here's restaurants we would go to. This is a nice dinner out. This is not like just like on a Friday night. Cheesecake Factory, probably number one.
Kona Grill,
P.F. Chang's, and like Oregano's, which is a pizza chain.
Yeah, I would go to nice. I got spoiled early on in my 20s with work. Like we would always like on work trips, I'd get to go to like nice steakhouses and seafood restaurants.
That's not a Jeremy night out.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
you with
But
work.
like then I started being like, oh, like, well, I want to go to all these nice places in Scottsdale because you get like used to it.
I'm going to tell the story. I'm not shitting you. I remember we went early on. This is probably the first year we're dating. Olive and Ivy is your birthday party. It's like a surprise birthday party. Monica put it together. So like I bring you there.
I had to be like 25 or something.
Yeah. You didn't know what was going on. And I didn't say this out loud. I remember sitting down, looking at the menu, and there's no doubt. I'm from a place, you guys, where if you even go to a restaurant, it's a dollar sign and it's what it is. Here's your fucking chicken tender melt. It's $12. It's $8. I'm sitting here and the menu just has numbers by the stuff. And the numbers are so high, I'm wondering, I'm like, are these just menu item numbers? Like, this can't be what it... No, it's the price of the food.
And Olive and Ivy, which is crazy to say, is not even that crazy. Like, to us now compared to, like, these other restaurants
But when
here.
I'm 26,
I
I'm
know.
like, this is $38? Are you fucking with me right now? Like, I come from that, like, small...
Oh, yeah, you come from...
But those places don't exist.
Well, yeah, and my small town didn't have that.
don't.
I would have to go to, like, Portland, Seattle.
And, like, you met my dad.
Yeah.
There's no way him and I are going. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's the kind of a different. Anyways, my point is last night we were out there. We're watching kids you kids are 28 and you're buying $14, $26 drinks here tonight. Like, it's just a different world.
Yeah.
I guess my point is it makes me feel very mature or very old when I'm there.
Yeah, and just all their outfits and just it was great people watching. So we ended up staying way later than we planned. I thought I'd be in bed by 9:00, but
we didn't get home till 10.
Yeah, which is late for us these days.
It's fucking wild.
So I'm kind of like dragging today. But it was fun. We could toast to the end of 2024 and beginning of a new year because it's been a hell of a year. But we survived.
Yeah, good and bad.
What else have we been doing? I feel like it's just been like pregnancy stuff and prepping for the baby. You've been busy with all your like year-end projects and finalizing new programs for the app and for your mastermind coaching group, all the new marketing and
yeah, I mean Sean, who's here right now, has been here like every day, like for hours and hours. Yeah, this is the most I've worked. I work every day pretty much, but this is the most I've done like in like the Christmas time and probably like a long, long time.
yeah.
But I mean, I figured two things. One, I have the energy. I feel good.
Sticking around here.
A lot of other things slow down though. So everyone else is so reactive. I'm like, if I'm proactive with this and if I'm going to have a kid, like there's going to be a time in there where it's a lot of shit to deal with. So if I front load all this, it's easier for me. And I would tell this to any of you guys who are in fitness or you work for yourself, especially in our industry in the health and fitness side. This is a great season to where if you have all your shit together, you're going to crush the first half of the year, but you can kind of map out the entire year. And I think you should do that. And a lot of people in our space, they're reactive when it comes to business. And it's like, I have my 8 clients or my 10 clients or my 200 clients, whatever the number is. They just don't worry about it until some of them leave. And it's the wrong way to go about it because obviously, like client acquisition, like getting someone takes way longer, like once they leave. So there's this huge kind of attrition, kind of churn rate that you're playing catch up with. So I like to kind of get ahead of it. And so for us, obviously the 47-day kicks off. And I'm going to talk about this a ton once we have it live, this old man strength program, which is going to be amazing. I can't wait to get the real t-shirts and show you guys. It is a great program. I put a lot of time into it to create it, to test it, to do it. We filmed it all. That will come out. And then obviously D'Lo and I have been here on our mastermind stuff, which I mentioned a little bit on here. Like we have a really awesome coaching group now. We're building an entire back-end site to give you guys access to it. And we'll do like a free group just so you guys can see like what we have going on. So essentially what it is if you're an entrepreneur, solopreneur, medium, small size business, and you want to get into something, we just filmed like it's like a 2-hour webinar. We called it 6 Figure Small Business from Scratch. So, and I'm very confident, like if you guys were just to watch that and put the pieces into play, you could go from zero to generating and making and paying yourself 6 figures in a year if you just followed the pieces. And that group will be free. that we put out, and we'll just drip stuff in there every single week to get to you guys. And if you wanted to work with us deeper, that's in there. But my point is like that's all the stuff we've worked on probably the last like 10 months straight, and a lot of it's almost ready to kind of come to life. In the last couple weeks, I've just been filming videos on top of working every single day, sometimes
here a lot.
5 to 5, yeah.
But yeah, I'd rather just this season of life, let's just get it all done, and because next year things are going to change and be kind of crazy in a good way.
Yeah, it's the systems. Like we have a system, you have one, our business has one, and if I can take advantage of certain windows, like that's what I'll do, and I would tell that to any of you guys.
Yeah. Yeah, so we need to focus on finishing the nursery. That's kind of been put on the back burner, but next week we'll finally get it painted, and
Like New Year's Day.
We ordered a crib, so that's good at least, because we really only have like 3 full months left, which is crazy. And we ordered a like recliner rocking chair, and that's it.
That's it. There you go. What else do you need?
We do have this like custom wall. It's kind of like wall art, wallpaper that I'm like, now that I think about it, I'm like, I don't even know. Hopefully you and I can do this, or I'm going to have to like ask a friend to help.
Is it like huge or something?
Well, I think it's all like individual. Like
we can
I don't know.
that.
Hopefully we can make it look good, because
I mean,
we'll see. We'll try that
was
out.
it expensive? I don't even remember.
I did get a Black Friday special on it, but it was kind of expensive.
Okay, so that means yes, it was. Yeah, Dave could help us or something. I don't know. But again, you're gonna do all the registry stuff, so it's like that.
Yeah, today's my goal. My goal today is to start. I got all these recommendations from my friends that are moms, and just like, what are your must-haves? And so I have a good list that I just need to add to the registry, which will be helpful. And then we did sign up for 2 parenting sessions in February, because we're like, one night we're just like, we don't know what we're doing, and we need like,
Do you ever?
we need to feel a little bit prepared.
Otherwise, I'm on like YouTube. Like,
Yeah.
like, I mean, what do you do? Like anything. What do you do?
And then just like, I have a friend, one of my best friends here is hosting the Arizona baby shower, and then my mom and sisters are going to do a Washington shower. So just.
But I feel the benefit too of being like us, like more mature. You all, a lot of your friends have had kids,
Yeah.
and they've recently had them, so you get to kind of piggyback off of like what they've already done and the little hacks that they use, and so we don't have to reinvent the wheel. We're not 22 years old and no one else has a kid.
It's so nice. Like even last night, because our friends are new parents, they have a 1.5-year-old, so we're like picking their brain and then just asking about like certain resources or what did they do, and it's just so helpful, because a lot of our friends here in Arizona just started having kids like in the last 2 years. So it's like they have a 2-year-old or a 1-year-old or like a new baby, which is so great, the timing of everything. So we're not alone. And yeah, I'm just like overall just feeling pretty good. I probably complain a lot to Jeremy every day just because I hate feeling uncomfortable, and I just am getting bigger and more uncomfortable in my clothes. And it's like harder to breathe. Like sleeping isn't as great, which I love. Like I'm not a napper. And so I love just getting my full like 8 hours, which has been challenging on certain nights, but I'm feeling the baby kick a ton, which is fun. And that's been like cool because it feels more real.
Yeah. Like when we go, like we walked on like, there's a place by our house, like Papago, this little mountain range, and you just walk way slower, like than
normal.
Yeah, normally you're like this breakneck pace, and I walk way faster than you now, and I'm not trying to.
Yeah.
And you just will say things like, it's uncomfortable, or the breathing, or you have to pee every 5 minutes.
Yes. Yeah. That's what's hard, because I feel like I've been working out. I come up to the gym 4 to 5 days a week, usually do 4 of the group workouts. And then like on the off days, sometimes I'll come in and do a workout on my own. Been trying to run jog, not run, 2 days a week usually. And I'm super slow, but I did do a Thanksgiving run during Thanksgiving weekend, I did the Fat Turkey Run,
I have your medal right here.
which I highly recommend it if you live here. It's in Tempe, and you start by Tempe Town Lake, and it's a trail run, and there's a 5K trail run and a 10K trail run, and they take you up through the Tempe trails, so it's not super high incline, but definitely it's incline the whole entire race, which I kind of wasn't expecting because I was like dying. But and maybe I pushed myself a little bit too hard. But
Well, you have to beat the fat turkey that's dressed up.
yeah, so the goal is to beat the Fat Turkey, who's like a college runner. And I was like, this is rigged. I'm sure, because I was like beating her. I'm like, I'm pregnant. I'm like, and she's a college girl. Like, this isn't making sense. And then I asked her at the end, and because I ended up getting number 18 out of 156 women, which made me feel really good at 39 years old. And I was like 5.5 months pregnant, or 6 months, almost 6 months pregnant.
Well, you get so competitive because you sat there and like were sending me like live. I was here, the live updates of like, okay, I finished here. I beat the fat turkey girl. Here's my time. Here's the total time. And I'm like, dude, it's not like the Olympics.
But then I had to go up to the girl that's dressed in a whole Fat Turkey costume. And I was like, hey, so like, I just need to know, did they tell you to like run slow, or what's the process? And she's like, the goal is I had to wait till 40, after 40 people, then I can like push it. And so it's men and women. And so if you finished in the top 40, then
It's legit.
yeah. But that was my goal. Cause I remember she was like coming up on me, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't.
I can't lose to somebody in a fat turkey costume.
So that was fun. But yeah, now the runs are getting a lot harder, and I'm super slow. I try to do like 4 miles on the canal path to Papago. But yeah, the bladder situation, pregnancy bladder, is not fun. There's so much pressure, and like I feel like halfway through, like can't even make it. And on the weekend or weekdays, they close the bathrooms. So, and most of the time I'm running on like a weekday. And so then I have to like find some desert brush and pop a squat, and I'm like hoping no one sees me.
Doesn't cover a lot.
There's
out there.
always like tourists like hiking around there, mountain biking, but whatever. I'm like, you got to do what you got to do. So
I mean, if you got to go, bro, what are you gonna do? Yeah, that doesn't.
usually I can hide. I find like some good hiding spots, but yeah, other than that, I mean, like I'm feeling good and just keep trying to move my body. And I walk Aspen, our puppy, like in the evenings, because it just helps with like digestion. Like I feel like I'm constantly burping and like.
Well, you fart walk. Yeah, just crop dust in the neighborhood. No, I get it, dude. Yeah.
But I'm so full. Like the second half of the day, I'm just like, you just feel heavy, and like you just need to like move around. I
Like
feel
heartburn or no?
Yeah, I've been getting some heartburn, but it's just real fun. But I'm so grateful I get to experience it.
Yeah. You're on a journey right now. That's it.
And then some people are asking about like nutrition, and I've been eating pretty normal, other than my cravings are like, I want chips more, like chips. I feel like I've been craving that all the time. Maybe it's like the salt, and then cheese. Like I just want more cheese, like cheese on everything, which I've always liked cheese. I just didn't eat a lot of it.
No, we normally don't have it at home like that. But
Yeah.
the other day you said you were Napoleon Dynamite making nachos.
Yeah.
Which like you would, that in a normal, like that's something you never do.
Yeah.
Like on a normal Thursday, you wouldn't be like, hey, I'm going to make like nachos.
And we've had like, I bought brie for Christmas Eve, and I've literally ate like the whole block of brie. Like every day I've been putting it on like toast with like fig jam and getting it all melted. It's amazing. My mouth is like watering right now.
Yeah. And then like for obviously it's Christmas time. So like shout out to my man Dennis who makes like.
Oh my gosh. The best sticky buns.
Yeah. They're as good as El Chorro's, if not better. And those are.
I think his are almost better because I like how he puts I don't know if it's pecans or nuts.
Nuts.
It was some sort of nuts though.
I mean, I ate most of them, but.
Yeah, I think I had 3 total, and Jeremy ate. There was 12.
12.
Yeah.
I could eat all 12 at once for sure. Like it's not even.
I had to have one for the baby one night, and then I had
Christmas Day because you ate them before you went and walked, and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
You were on the struggle bus.
It was worth it though. Yeah, overall though, I feel like 80% of the time I'm eating
The same.
healthy, like trying to get my protein, trying to get my healthy fats, trying to get my vegetables and fiber and fruits.
I feel like you eat ground turkey and vegetables like every day.
Yeah, I've been doing that a lot just because I'm too lazy to make anything else.
I know. But hey, that's a great thing.
And then another listener question, because we did ask some listener questions, was like, what are your guilty pleasures? Like, I think for both of us. And I feel like we do treat ourselves to like sweets. So Jeremy last night had surprised me with some nothing bundt cakes we had last night. And then I feel like lately
I do like those because I never feel
super sick after.
Yeah, like for me again, I'm not against like when people say, "Hey, if you don't eat on your diet, like what would you eat?" I don't really look at the macros because it's not a normal occurrence. So who gives a shit? Like from the school of like, "Hey, if you want to go out and have drinks, like what's the best drink? It's the ones you want to drink, dude." Like just enjoy yourself because you're not doing this 7 days a week. My point is like nothing bundt cakes, which you guys maybe have it in your city or something comparable. They're light, and I don't feel like shit. We're like, and this is not a knock on like crumble cookies. Whatever they put in those, dude,
I know.
I would feel like just complete.
My stomach
trash.
hurts immediately after, and just so much sugar at one time.
And nothing bundt cakes is probably the worst of the things we eat because we typically go to like LGO.
Yeah, I feel like we've been going to LGO Bakery. I mean, we've been going there for years, but I feel like this year we've been going like so much more.
It's a local.
Yeah, they have like the best in Arcadia, like the best.
Dude,
really
pizza,
great food, salads, like breakfast, but their bakery, like the chocolate croissants and the sea salt chocolate chip cookies, and
the red velvet
I just
cake
tried
is
their
the best.
banana bread too. The chocolate chip banana bread was like amazing. And then you always get the red velvet.
The red velvet cake is the best.
And the carrot cake's good.
Yeah, their cookies are. First of all, the cookies are big as my face, and I always will go and buy stuff for both of us.
I know.
And Heather will kind of sneak in there before me. And usually, it is if you ever are in town and you're visiting and you get a chance, like that is well worth it because it's like a local place.
It's a cool environment. It's kind of a market too. They have great gifts there. It's like a cafe. They have really good coffee. They have like a little gelato place in there. They have the pizza place.
But that would be like the stuff we would do. That's probably the biggest thing.
And then like In-N-Out Burger is like your main guilty pleasure that you do basically weekly. And then I'll usually get it too. I usually do like a protein style lettuce wrapped burger, and then I do love their fries. So the fries are always hard to like say no to. And then pizza, I feel like that's always like been you and both of our favorite foods that we like want to.
I could eat pizza every day.
Me too.
Legitimately. If I didn't really care what I looked like and my body could handle it, I would eat pizza like for breakfast.
It never gets old.
No, cold pizza, hot pizza, I don't give a shit. Like I would eat any of it. And we have so many good places here too. That's the beauty of living here. It's like you have access to everything, but you have to basically fight the temptation to eat the stuff every single day when you're here.
Yeah. And like we live so close, and I feel like
to everything.
And then if you're lazy, even though we live like a mile away from the restaurants, it's like, oh, we could just Uber Eats it.
But that's even, and people say like, what do you mean? I go, well, that makes it even worse because they can deliver it fast and it's still hot and it's still the same when it gets there. Uber Eats is probably one of the worst inventions ever for people.
It's like
it really
way too convenient.
It's enabled in a lot of.
I've had to watch myself because I get like in a habit this year of doing it when I'm like, oh, I'm too busy and I can't run over here. I don't feel like running over there.
Oh, you were on a pregnant rip of like eating pho like every day. And I'm like, we spent $1,000 on pho
at this
this
Vietnamese place. I was like, I don't want to go pick it up.
Which one did you order from?
I think it's Hello Vietnam. Vietnam.
What's the other one? Pho King Kitchen?
I haven't gone there, but
yeah. But my point is that you can essentially now live at your house and you could just order Amazon shit and stuff from the grocery store and Uber Eats, and like you can just become
never leave. Yeah,
it's not good,
which is scary.
Yeah,
but hey, I'm gonna give myself like grace for this period of time, I'm like, sometimes you just got to get the extra help from Uber.
When again, like if you can make good choices too, it's just hard because everything's around there.
Well, and it's also because we go to the grocery stores all the time.
Every
so it gets like, we just went to the grocery store, but like now it's the weekend and you just want something different. And sometimes it's like nice to just do the takeout thing.
Yeah. And opposed to like, hey, you have to go out and like you're going to a restaurant, you have a reservation, the crowds, all that stuff. I get it. But yeah, it's dangerous for sure. Like anything.
Yeah. But it's really nice.
When you're lazy, for sure.
Yeah.
And we do it like we use those things for when people come over and visit instead of like, hey, like when your parents are here, because they always expect like.
Well, it's just like.
There's a standard, like when, and I'm like, I'm not going to make a bunch of dinner for
this
people.
This December trip, I'm like, I have no energy to like make a dinner. So let me just order Postino's, which is another one that we go to a lot. But yeah. Yeah. So reflecting on this past year, what do you have to say? What are your feelings?
Goodbye. What do you mean? I'm not going to be negative. It's like,
we survived. I'll just say we survived 2024.
Yeah, it didn't all suck.
And most of it, I feel like, was like just not enjoyable, but we tried our best.
I'm not I always compare it to like the pandemic, like because there would be times it just wasn't fun for me. Like the pandemic was not fun, and I will say that forever. Like the amount of fuckery you had to put up with and deal with. But I would come here, work all day, and I remember we would be at home and it's summertime and it's like 6:00 and we're like just gonna lay down and go to bed.
Yeah, because I'm like, I just want the next day to
come. And that's a terrible way to live your life because you don't have days to wish away. But there was definitely like days of last year where I'm like, we just need to get to this checkpoint.
Get through this month. And then it was like, get through the next month. And
yeah, it was not ideal. But if I look back, like, hey,
you're playing footsie with me.
Is that your foot?
Yeah.
I can't even tell. If I look back on the year, obviously, like, you end up getting pregnant, like that part of it all kind of works out.
That was like the big positive, obviously.
But the road to doing it, yeah, definitely was the like fucking worst for sure. But now I can look back and, I'll take the pieces up from it, what I can. And that's what I do for most things. Like when you have shitty stuff that happens in your life, you essentially have two choices. One, you can let it scar you and it can weigh you down and you can carry it with you forever and it can change you and turn you into like a bitter, salty, angry person and say, oh man, it stole this much time from me in this. And that's justified if you want to do that. But I tend to be from the school of, well, all that shit didn't kill me. I'm still here. And now when something else comes my way, I have this perspective of like, it's not that big of a deal. And I think if nothing else, like from the last year, it's like a lot of the shit that even maybe I would worry about or think about, like really doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. It doesn't, dude. At the end of the day, like nobody gives a shit about most of these little problems. And we tend to make, like, for lack of a better term, like a mountain out of a molehill. Like you'll have this little thing go on in your day and you freak out. And it's like, it pales in comparison to some of the real shit that you deal with. And then when you have friends like we had in the last year, brain tumors and cancer diagnoses and like, their marriages fell apart or relationships or different things. And you're complaining about like, wow, I got the wrong coffee or, this TV show I missed or like whatever stupid little daily thing. Like it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Put things into perspective.
And also like for if you're a type A person and you like to control your environment, and obviously like I work in a building that has my name on it. I'm my own boss. I don't like to be told what to do. I like to kind of make my own way. I'm not really in control. Mm-hmm. As much as I want to be of stuff, like I have to a certain extent, but life is going to just happen around you.
And I think that was the biggest lesson for us was like how to overcome or deal with consistent uncertainty and being the feeling of being out of control, like total out of control of like our mind, body, everything.
And you can do all the things, but
what will be the outcome, you just don't know.
No. And I think but if you look at your entire life, that's pretty much what it's always been.
Yeah.
And this is I guess the word would be like, it's just acceptance. You're just accepting what this part of the journey is. And again, I can say that now because like I'm not living in it. I'm not doing it anymore. I feel fucking amazing. Like everything just feels awesome for me. And I know that's temporary too. And that will come and go like anything else in life. And so if you're listening to this and it's like, hey man, I'm in a shit season. I'm like, it doesn't last, dude. It's not, an eternity. Like it is going to come and go. And that's what I could tell you. And so that's probably the best gift is like, I don't got to worry about dumb shit. Like if I say something wrong on a video or this podcast, it doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
Like if Sean messes up this video, like I'm not going to scream at him. Like it doesn't matter. Like there's bigger things in the world that are going on that I can put my energy towards. So a lot of the stuff that maybe would bother me, I just kind of like
let it all go.
Because again, it's big picture, small picture. And when you go through different things in your life, hopefully that's what you take from it. And then when you do have something else that comes up that's a roadblock or an obstacle, you're just better equipped to deal with it. And you can go, oh, yeah, this is a problem, but it's not these other things that I went through. Hopefully.
Yeah, no, I feel like we individually and as a couple, it just made us stronger and have a whole new deeper level of our relationship because of it. So like those are the positives out of just dealing with this challenging year. And because I do feel like majority of it was just so mentally, physically, emotionally draining. Like I just felt so drained from it all that now it just feels like now that it's the end of the year and a new year. I've never wanted a new year more. And I'm usually not like that, but I am so ready for 2025. And but it's cool to look back and like, wow, we overcame that together. And I do feel like I learned a lot about myself and what I can handle and what I can't handle, and just how we were able to balance it all from like the amount of doctor's appointments we both had to do, and then working, running a business, trying to take care of each other, ourselves, and just try to enjoy some sort of parts of life. And so it just feels so good to be done with it all. And now it's like crazy to think this time next year we'll have like a 9-month-old baby at Christmas time, which is so wild. And yeah, it's going to be a whole new kind of adventure and challenging year, but in like a good way, and like a crazy year, but like the good kind of crazy. And so I'm just like excited for that. And I feel like this probably prepared us more for dealing with becoming parents, and, just having a new baby is going to come with a lot of different challenges. And I feel like we're ready for it,
Yeah.
It's like we can do anything.
Yeah. We have a different appreciation for it, because it's not like it just happened in an instant.
Yeah.
You had a journey to do it, like a very conscious one of like, here's my appointment for this, here's what I'm doing here. And it was already, I don't know, I don't want to call it like a pretest of what it was. But it taught you a lot about responsibility, deadlines. You had to alter your entire life.
And just like get up out of bed and get out and start your day and like deal with what you have to deal with during that day, your responsibilities,
Well, there's that,
even more so when you feel like complete trash.
Well, it's like that famous, I don't know if it's a meme or like a reel that's out there where it's like, hey, work on your physical fitness, work on your mental fitness while you master your career, while you be a better person. Like the 15 different things. Like it's an impossible task, like what you ask people. So I'm saying that just to, if you're out there and you're doing, just give yourself some grace.
Yeah, and it's okay to surrender. It's like we had to just kind of get to a point where you just kind of surrender to it and let whatever is going to happen is going to happen. And you have to just surrender to the uncertainty of life, And
it's okay if you're like a high achieving person and you're going through a different season where you look at, well, maybe my, career doesn't get 100% today.
And that's been hard for me, honestly, because I feel like I couldn't give it my all like I normally do. And
you'd give it the best you could that day, but your best then is not what you're doing is comparing to your peak. And you can't do that. Like,
and it's
in peak, Heather, when you feel great, you have energy, the sun is shining.
I'm in like corporate sales, so it's like year end, like you want to always achieve your goals, and it's just like this wasn't the year I just didn't have it. I didn't physically have the time and energy, and emotionally to like power through. I mean, I did the best I can. So we'll see how it ends.
Yeah. Well, you're used to your peak.
Yeah.
That's what we always compare to like our best. And honestly, a reason why I've had to film 8 million videos and all these projects at the end of the year is because I didn't do fuck all from January till June. I was just on survival mode, essentially. I'm just doing the bare minimum here with our people, delivering the best I can. I can work with what's going on, but I didn't have the bandwidth to take on any more new shit. And that's okay. If you're listening to this and that's where you're at, like, just do that then. You're playing off the base you built. If it's your physical body, you're coming back from an injury. If it's kid shit, if it's career stuff, it's okay. Every at bat's not a home run.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay sometimes just to like take a walk, or if you strike out and the next at bat.
It's not the end of the world.
No.
Yeah.
And that's a good takeaway, I think, for anybody that I learned this year too, where I'm used to just, put the blade down and I'm just going to fucking bulldoze. And I couldn't do that for 6 months, which was not fun for me. I like to be creative. I like to do
really
things.
like 9 months for you.
Yeah, I started eating shit September 2023. But in terms of the year, it was not, I didn't create anything really new or worth a shit. I mean, I did, but not in the...
But you were like showing up doing podcasts consistently. You were creating new podcasts the entire year.
I just wasn't... I guess here's the way I frame it. I'm just on robot mode, right? I'm just a Terminator. I just show up. I'm going to kill people, but there's no inspiration behind it, where when my brain can be free... Oh, and as dumb as it sounds, like this old man strength program, I'm like, that's exciting to me because I'm old and I'm strong and I want you guys to be too. Like, those are the fun things I want to create. Yeah. Or like, hey, let's do the updates to the 47 day, or hey, let's have you come on the podcast, or hey, D-Lo, let's put this in together. I like that. I like creating things. And when I'm in which is very rare that I'm not in a good space. And just like weighed down, or physically I feel like a bag of shit, I can't be creative and I can't be motivated and I'm not inspired. That's why I harp on the way
same here.
The way you live your life. Like, if I had...
Most people can't.
If I had $1 million of debt I was chewing on, like, it'd be hard for me to be creative and be inspired, because it would keep me up at night. If I'm worrying about all these things, or if I'm sick, or whatever.
Constantly distracted.
I like to be free of those things. And that's where I'm at now. But I wasn't there most of the year.
Neither was I up until like literally a couple months ago.
So if you're out there and you're on a journey, you can't compare your peak you to you in this season, and just know you'll come back and be better than peak, but it's a process for sure.
Yeah.
And everything's temporary, both good and bad. And that's the one thing I've learned for sure.
Yeah. It's wild that it was just such a blur that it's just like, well, now it's December 29th. We made it. Like,
I know.
The reel you sent me, or the meme.
Oh, it's Paul Rudd on Hot Ones. And what is the phrase though?
It's like something like, we did it.
Living through hell of like 2024, and then he's on this is a Hot Ones episode, and he's like, look at us.
Look at us.
Who would have thought we'd be here? Not me. And he's just so like
high-fiving or cheersing with a drink.
Yeah, because they're like, their faces are melting off.
Like,
yeah. The internet is a shithole place, but man, there's some just
gems
gold
that
out
make
there.
you like laugh so hard.
It's
and
amazing.
that like are so relatable.
Yeah. Like, somebody took the time and was like having a shit year, and they're like, let me find this and put these two together. It's amazing, dude.
They're so creative.
That's why I try to share those to brighten your days, everybody, if I can.
Yeah. So what are your intentions for 2025?
Don't die.
Don't die.
Oh, that's not a good one?
Mine's like,
I believe that should be number one for everybody, but yes.
I feel like everyone's like, be more present, but literally I want to hopefully be able to be better at just like stressing less, worrying less. But I'm like, this is going to be a whole new experience for me. So I hope I can just like be present as much as I can and not be so distracted, and just enjoy becoming a mom and becoming a parent with you. And,
well, for you too, I think maybe stress and worry less about the dumb shit.
But I think I've like already started to manage that much better after this year a little bit. Maybe not.
Kind of. Well, you do the pregnant thing where the other day you threw a fit because you couldn't find toilet paper, and you just like had to slam the door and walk out.
Yeah, but that's probably just like hormones.
And then I send you a picture of like 80 rolls of toilet paper and go through. Yeah, you were way better than you were before. We both are. Like you have to
And
be.
we've matured more, I think.
If you think if people recorded our conversations at home, that's what they would say? Okay. Like we're not adults. We're not at all, dude. I don't know. I really I don't know, man.
We were like singing to old school Usher songs that like not like the
You
super
were
popular
really,
ones.
You were really singing to Usher last
And
night.
like rapping to these ones that I'm like, only you and I would know these. Like
It was Usher, Little John, and Ludacris.
Chris
It was
Crunk Juice.
off of the Lovers and Friends is the song off the Crunk Juice album, and Heather's singing it like word for word on the way home as we're driving back from dinner. I'm like, we're not adults, bro. Like,
But the fact that you knew all of the words,
no, every word.
I'm like, this is why we're together. And like, because I'm like, my sisters don't know. They know the popular Usher songs, but like, they don't know these ones. And these ones were in the club or I'd listen to.
These are some of the diehards, beyond the most popular. But we're children, man.
I know.
No, I agree with you. I think for anybody in every year, and people say it all the time, like be present. I think that's why we're here today, right? We didn't have, and there's not a right or wrong answer, but I know like I had no business having a kid when I was 25. I'm not that smart now, and I was way dumber then, and I couldn't have built this infrastructure and this business and this life if I couldn't give it all my attention. And that's just me personally. Some of you are much better and you can do multiple things. I know my bandwidth, and we did it this way, in my opinion, or it worked out this way, whether it's God, the universe, unicorn tears, whatever brought this about. Like, we're older, and you're in a different financial spot, and you have a different infrastructure, and you have family that live here now. And I'm not going to live, and that's not a wrong answer. Like, my dad did it the way he did it. Mm-hmm. He had a kid when he was 23, drove a truck, wasn't home a ton. Like, we don't have to do that.
Yeah.
Like, so we will be present. And that's a conscious, like, whether you want to call it business decision or whatever it may be.
Well, and we did that intentionally. We wanted to wait later in life to have a kid, and we didn't realize it was going to be like this kind of crazy journey. But
no,
I don't have regrets. Like, we were talking about it with our friends last night. Like, same thing with them, and
they're
we're
the
just
same
like,
age as us.
Yeah, and we're just like, we don't have regrets. We're so glad that we're becoming parents now versus like in our 20s, and.
No, granted.
And now we can be like, yes, we all work a lot, but we also can pick and choose and be more flexible and have the peace of mind of like being financially stable and being able to take a lot of time off if we need to, or being flexible with picking the kids up or being there at their school because we've set it up that way. And that was always my goal too. If I want to continue to work, but I want to also be able to have flexibility and not be like having to take a higher level job and be gone all the time and miss out on like raising the kids. So,
and again, it works different for obviously everyone, but in this life, at least the way that I did it, I couldn't have, at 28, it would be impossible between the hours I would work or where I'd have to travel and what I had to do to get here. It just I wouldn't have been nearly as present. Even if I would have physically been there, which would have been very rarely, I wouldn't be there.
yeah.
Like, and there's a lot of time in my life where I would be at stuff and I'm there physically, but mentally I'm just not.
Yeah, checked out.
Now when I go somewhere, like, I don't check my phone. I don't give a shit what's going on unless the thing is on fire.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need to be called. You don't need to message me. And I can spend 3, 4, 5, 6, however many hours it is with the people that are in the room with me. I'm not a fan of hey, let's all get together for a couple hours and then stare at our phones. We could have done that shit from anywhere.
Yeah.
So if I'm going to be somewhere, I like to be there. And I would imagine even the good and the bad stuff, like with the kid, like I wouldn't want to be the person who just like stares at the phone and the kid is there. Like, I can do that from anywhere.
I know.
I'll take the moments, the good and the bad, and I can work when I work and not work when I don't want to. And I can say yes to certain things and I can say fuck you to certain things. And that's a good place to be in. And that's kind of the only way I ever would have done this. Just my personality type alone. Like,
same here.
And again, this is just me, real talk.
But we were always on the same page about that.
Yeah. I want to go to Italy and not worry about a bunch of little kids.
We needed to check I needed to check off a lot of things on my list
Yes.
before I had kids. And so that's what we did.
Yeah, and
And
honestly,
I still have another list now.
well, it just changes.
Yeah.
But honestly, like, and this is being completely transparent, we didn't have any money when we moved here. And I didn't have any money when I started this business. And the thought of like another financial burden would really have like held me back. And that I guess I could have figured it out, but it would have been a stress I wasn't willing to take on. And now it's easier from that standpoint. And money doesn't make you happier, dude. It doesn't solve all the problems. I go, but when shit does go wrong, it does cover gaps and things, and it buys you freedom and flexibility
And
if you use it
stress.
right. Yes.
Yeah. And I just didn't want to have to deal with any of that becoming a parent.
No. So what you trade in life energy, because obviously it's not the same in my 40s versus 25 years
I
old
know.
me.
Now I'm like tired all the time.
Can will myself to do certain things, but again, it'll all kind of work out. But
But I do feel better. Like we both feel better. I feel like in other ways, like trying to say, like, even though we're older, we'll be older parents, like physically, and we've taken care of ourselves to where we do feel like really good for our ages. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, any young kid that works here with me, like, they're not going to do what I do. Like, I just say, again, you take care of yourself, the way that you sleep, the way that you eat, be focused on it, do the best you can, build a routine. You can be pretty productive at all standpoints. And again, you're not going to, when you and I are meeting where it's like out at Dos Gringos, getting shit-faced at 10 p.m., going to sleep at 2 a.m., I wasn't equipped to have a kid and do that. It wouldn't have worked. Like, imagine just how, when you would wake up and like be super hungover.
Yeah.
And you're just like dragging ass and like all you want to do is eat a sandwich and lay around the pool. Like, that would be our Sundays when we met. And it just, really, it was just like, it was a different lifestyle. And I guess we were talking about this lesson at dinner, and we'll get off this podcast after this. But just for us anyway, that was kind of the phases of life we had to go through, where we've seen friends who maybe don't do that, especially in the Midwest. It's just a lot of times you have like 6 kids before you're 25 years old. It's great. I respect the hell out of it. It's a different life than we live out here. And they never lived that season.
Yeah.
And so then they turn like 38 or 9 or 40 and they're like, now I want to go out.
They feel like something's missing.
Yeah. And then they want to retroactively go out to the clubs and the bars. And that's fine too.
Or they plan like these trips now with other couples and get all wild and crazy which they should.
And that's awesome.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is I think that's harder to do than like if the kid is smaller now. Because again, I'm not hungover. I'm not shit-faced.
Yeah.
I'm not built to party anymore like that. That I retired from that, 2 decades ago. So it worked out for us. Hopefully in this way. But
we'll see how it goes.
yeah. I mean, who knows? I could come on here in a year and be like, this was a fucking mistake. This is terrible. We have no energy. This is awful. But I think like
there's gonna be nights and days like that, but that's also like we know that, like, you just know that going into it.
No, and again, I have been lucky enough. Monica, who's worked here with me for 10 years now,
Yeah.
through all of her kids.
You've had like firsthand experience with
I met her first kid. He came in here and he was 5. Now he's 16. He's driving my Honda Accord now, like a boss around Scottsdale, which is awesome. But he gave me the license plate, still up on my wall here. And then she had 2 other kids by the time she worked here. So I got to live through all 3.
where she would like bring them in here.
Monica would have a kid and be here like 2 weeks later.
Yeah, and like the baby would be in here, and it was like so cool that, I mean, we could all experience them growing up here.
And I'm under I'm not naive to the fact of what that looks like.
Yeah,
because
you got to see it all. Like,
all of a sudden the kid loses it. And I'm like, let me put my AirPods on and leave for the next 30 minutes. And hopefully it's done when I come back. Or like I'd be working out here when Kobe's one kid, he's probably like 3. And when they can walk is when it's dangerous.
They just are running
I got
everywhere.
a video on my phone. This kid has no shoes on. He is halfway down the block. And the other sweet people here are like, who is this kid? And I'm like, I don't know, never seen him before. Then they start to panic. I'm like, I'm just fucking with you. I know who he is. But it's like, I've lived through all that here.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't have
You've been like their uncle.
Yeah. It gives you like this is not easy. And I say it to her all the time. I'm like, I don't know how you, like, I'll be tired in here. And I'm sure she's got to listen to me and be like,
Shut up.
Shut the fuck up,
yeah, I
dude.
have no idea.
And I'll look at her and I'm like, how are you even alive?
Yeah.
Like, that's what I'm like, how you have 3 kids and they're all small. How are you even alive?
How can you
right
even
now?
just focus on like what you're
And
needing to do today?
Do the tasks I'm asking you to do.
It's amazing. The people that have multiple kids, I'm like, more power to you because
You're like
I
a
think
you're like a cyborg.
I think I'm just meant to have the one.
Yeah, again, you know,
And dogs. I can deal with the dogs, but
yeah, you got to know your personnel. Or even like clients here, they're just like, well, I could see Jeremy having a kid, but Heather, I don't know.
yeah,
about
the other day,
about
my
you.
friend, she was like,
smoked you here,
she
but
was just
she
like-
wasn't being mean.
No, not mean.
Shout
it was
out
actually
to
funny.
Jen Baget, yeah,
I actually appreciated it.
yeah, she was keeping it real.
I just cannot believe you are having a baby. Like I could see Jeremy, I can see him, but you're just like so independent and like
The trips you take, the activities you like
just
to
like
do.
to go off and do your own adventures by yourself, or like, I just can't believe it. And I'm just like, yep, I'm gonna do it.
Thanks for the vote of confidence. Appreciate you. No, I get it though, but that's it's why we're here.
Yeah.
We're both very type A independent humans, and we have our process, and now we'll just have
One of the listeners, I know we addressed this on the last podcast, but one of the listener questions was like, what are you most nervous about becoming a parent, and what are you most excited about?
nervous about.
We kind of talked about it last night. I was like most nervous about like getting the sleeping and feeding routine down and hoping, because all babies are different. And
Yeah, I don't worry about that as much. Like, I can be tired certain days and I can commit to that misery. I guess it would be like the stuff like if your kid is like has a fever
yeah,
and shit like that, because I don't
like when things go wrong, if they get sick. And
yeah, or just even as if they get older and they do, like, again, I did dumb shit like, hey, burn your hand on the stove. You
and
cut
boys
your
will
leg.
be wild.
Yeah, dude. I remember. I don't mean to share a bunch of stories here. I was riding my bike to Shopko, which is like a shitty Kmart in the Midwest. I think they're all out of business, because I wanted to spray paint it gold. So I was going to buy gold spray paint because I wanted a gold bike. And I remember we were riding it down Highway 61 where I live. Heather knows what I'm talking about. It's like a legit highway. But me and Connor, my best friend, 2 dummies riding bikes. And my foot slipped off the pedal, and it got my pants and that got stuck in the gears, chewed the back of my leg up. I still have a scar to this day.
Ew.
I got 30 stitches. You could see the
Jeez.
white muscle coming out.
Oh, gross.
But I drove my bike. I finished the bike ride because I'm a savage. Went to Shopko, bought the spray paint, came home. My pants are soaked in blood.
such a badass.
Soaked in blood on the bottom. I pull it up and I look at Connor and go, do you think I need a Band-Aid or something for this? And he's like, no, you need to call your mom, bro.
You need to go to the ER.
Yeah. I think I was 9 years old. And that, and again, back in the 80s and 90s, you could do this shit. And then I had to get all the stitches. But like, that's what I mean, where
Yeah.
I'm so dumb. I clearly need medical attention, but I'm like, should I put a
Glad we
Band-Aid
have
on it?
good friend that's an ER doctor that when things do go wrong, like, do we need to actually go in, or like, what do you suggest? So we have her.
Yeah. And just not to panic over like little shit and
Yeah.
know like what's real or not. So that's probably the thing I would, I guess, worry the most. But the cool part, just when they can, like when you can actually do shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know, because it takes a while for the dad to bond with the baby until they're older and they can like.
Well, and you still say it a lot.
I have a problem with saying it, and
Yeah.
I'm like, it's a boy.
She'd be like, it's kicking, or like it's growing. I'm like, it's a thing. Like you can say boy.
I don't know why. I just
Or you'll
can't.
say, well, this thing inside me. I'm like, it's not a
I know it's really bad because
Yeah.
I'm like 25 weeks. It's
like
like
a-
Heather, you have like it's a real baby.
Like you think like what, like a koala bear is going to come out or something? Like it's just something totally different.
I don't know. It's so weird, but
No, but I think like to teach, like if that's the process, like here's how you write your name, or like ride a bike, or
Yeah.
shoot a gun, or hit a baseball, like
I know.
things that and that's more selfish probably than anything that I think are cool, like skills you should learn that
I
are
think,
helpful.
Yeah, it's just going to be really exciting just to see what the baby looks like as far as the baby stage, like obviously having the baby and like bringing it into the world will be something that is just like I'm excited for that feeling, because
That would
everyone
probably-
keeps talking about like the love, like once the first time we get to hold the baby, I think it's like what I'm really looking forward to,
Yeah, I think
because it's like finally going to feel real.
well, it would probably freak me out if I was the woman, Just
Well, yeah.
just having the kid.
I know. I just
So if you
try
ask
to
me,
not
like,
think about
what
it.
would freak me out the most? I don't know.
I try to just not. I
This
sent
is
him
the
a
hand
video
of
the other day,
Oh my god, dude!
and I'm like, oh God, why did I watch this?
It was like a fake head,
Yeah.
and then they had like it looked
Cervix.
like Play-Doh.
Yeah.
Wait, so it's like this is so gross.
It's like,
I'm like, why'd
we
you
should-
send this to me? It was a fake head, and it was like a ring of like Play-Doh, and it was like started off like this, like a small ring.
It's like showing the gradual
Oh my
of
God.
dilation. And I'm like,
And then you go, how does my vagina do that? I'm like, I've only watched it once when I was in 7th grade, and I'll never forget it. Dude.
and I will never forget that video either.
Scarred for life.
Yeah.
I'm like, how does that do that?
I know.
That would freak. So if, as
Maybe
a
I'll
female,
have a C-section. I don't know.
yeah, that would freak me out.
But
The the breaching.
I
seems
try to
like-
just block it out of my head. Like, I don't want to even think about it until I'm out the hospital.
It's probably the
terrify
best.
me.
Probably the best approach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next subject.
So yeah, that's it, right?
Yeah, that's it. So thank you so much. We wish you a happy new year. We hope it's an amazing 2025. And just thank you for all the support this past year with our podcast community and our JSF members and everybody that, just wants to be a part of the online community. So
Yeah, thank you guys for being on the journey with us. Again, if you are looking for something to do come the new year, 47-day transformation, you guys hit me up. If you were an old man or going to be an old man or an older woman or a woman in general and you're going to get older, that program I'll drip out as you guys go. I think you guys will dig it. I'll share more on the DLO stuff and I kind of as we get into it here later on. And then I'll pop on probably sometime next week for you guys towards the end of the week, depending on work stuff I got going on. If you happen to be on Apple Podcasts, drop it a 5-star, leave a comment. Don't be a lazy ass. Same thing on Spotify. You guys can drop it a 5-star, leave any episode a little comment or review if you like. And then again, if you guys do want discounts on any of the samples, whether it's our stuff from Substance, the creatine that I take every day, or any of our protein, turmeric, collagen, and krill oils from Jay. And then you guys always know our friends at AG1, we got a ton of samples here. We're happy to ship them out to you so you guys can get started on the new year with an easy health hack. Again, perfect when you travel, helps you with cold and flu season, helps you take a dump, all the important stuff in life that you want to do. So hit me up if you guys want that. Otherwise, everything's in the show notes, all the programs, all the sponsors, everything else. We appreciate you guys. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you. Like, share, subscribe as always. And if you need something, holler at us. And if you guys happen to be in Scottsdale come the new year and you're in town visiting, you want to pop in here and get a workout in, shoot us a message. We'll be happy to get you in. We love meeting you guys and, melting your faces off with us in the new year. So until next time, my friends, eat well, train hard, be nice to people. And please, you guys, keep doing shit you love with people you enjoy because your life is too short not to. I'll talk to you soon. Peace.